Coming up on Hands on Tech, I was chatting with my co-host Ron Richards on All About Android about something he just got. He's been waiting so long for it, and he's super excited. The AAWireless. It's wireless Android Auto for your head unit that doesn't support wireless. That's up next.
This is TWiT.
Ron, you've got something on your desk.
Long awaited. For those watching the video stream, you can see me holding the box to the AAWireless device that I finally received.
Very nice.
So for those of you who remember maybe earlier this year when I was, I moved to the suburbs, got a car, have been exploring Android Auto, and we discovered on Indiegogo the AAWireless project that was that offered to bring wireless connectivity to your car when using Android Auto. Most people who use Android Auto, you need to plug a cable into your car and plug that cable into your phone, and then that enables Android Auto on the display in your car, which is great and really cool, but also frustrating and limiting when you got to get into the car, you got to plug the phone in, you got to plug the phone in the USB port. The phone is tethered to a thing, and it's like, especially for me with kids, they're always pulling the cable and throwing it and stuff like that. So having a wireless option where you just get in the car and it works was extremely attractive to me. So I think I signed up for the Indiegogo back in April, and it was supposed to ship in May or June, and they had some shipping delays. And listen, the folks behind AAWireless did a great job in communicating those shipping delays, and they communicated when mine was shipping, and I got the tracking number so I can expect it and all that sort of stuff. And so it showed up, and I have used it, and I'm here to tell you all about it. So
nice.
It comes in this nice little box, very simple, very simply stated. On the back, there's a QR code that goes right to the app to help with your installation. But it's very minimalist when you open it up. We're going to do a little unboxing here. When you open it up, all you see is the device and a USB cable.
Okay. Piece of cake.
That's all it is.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so USB cable isn't the longest, but honestly, it was longer than I wanted. I actually wanted a shorter USB cable, so because I have a Subaru Forester, and there's a little kind of compartment underneath the screen and everything where the USB cable stuff is, and I just want a short cable that I can just tuck that into and leave it be. But the longer cable's fine. It needs to be flexible. And then the device itself is like a little here, let me grab it. It's just like a little black hockey puck.
Yeah, puck.
Yeah, little puck. You can see there it's got kind of engraved on it the AAWireless logo on it. And then aside from that, it's very, very smooth on the sides. Nothing, no buttons, or there's one button, but nothing really to see. And on the back of it, there is just a USB-C connector, a indicator light to the left of the USB-C cable, and then a reset button that you use a paper clip to hit the reset for. So just super, super simple. All you got to do is you connect the dongle to the USB-C cable, and then you plug the USB-A adapter into your car, and then you install the app. And when you install the app, they do a really good job of walking you through what you need to do. And I thought it would be easier. I did wrestle with it. It took me about 15 minutes to get installed and all that sort of stuff. When you open up the app for the first time, basically what they do is they walk you through similar to how, and Jason, you know this, when we install an app sometimes that's using that's kind of like a little left of center, mm-hmm. you need to enable a lot of kind of accessibility settings or things like that. In this particular case, in order for AAWireless to work, you need to enable developer options not on your phone but in the Android Auto app. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
So if you have Android Auto, what you can do is you open up the Android Auto app and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the screen, and in the serial number or the build number for the app, you tap that 10 times, and that unlocks developer options. And then once you unlock developer options, you need to go into the developer options and enable wireless projection. Once you do that, then you're all set to set up. If you don't do that, the thing won't connect, the thing won't work. That's what I got tripped up on. But in the app, they do a great job of doing like the screenshots and showing you step by step. Go here, then do this, then do this. So pretty well designed there. Once you are ready to go, you turn the car on, You plug in the AA wireless device into the USB port. And then the third step is the phone connects. And what it does is it turns on your Wi-Fi and it connects to the AA wireless SSID. So it's almost as if this is connecting to a router, in that sort of way. And that's what's managing the connection. And at that point, then it triggers Android Auto as if you had plugged your phone into the car and you just use it like you normally do. And that's really it. It's so simple and it just works. Now that said, I've only had this for 2 days. I just got it in the mail on Sunday. It got delivered on Sunday, and I haven't got any long road trips or anything like that, but I've tooled around town. I've kind of done my short kind of trips and things like that, and leaving it plugged in, the little indicator light is once you connect it for the first time, it's a blinking green light. Once you're connected, it's a steady blue light. And so that's a really great, kind of like I know that it's connected. I know that it's working when I see that blue light. I tucked a little puck in the little cubby hole in my car and I forgot about it. And it just worked. And Android Auto comes up immediately. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to tap anything. My car's head unit switched automatically to Android Auto. It was smooth as butter. It was fantastic. It worked great. So now, all positive, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. What are the potential problems? After a day or so of using it, I got spooked because I realized that my car's USB ports always have power.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, so
right.
I noticed this when I was walking to throw the trash out, and the garbage can is near where the car is parked in the driveway, and I saw my phone switched from the Wi-Fi router in my house to the AA wireless, like it connected to Android Auto. And I was like, oh, no. And I was like, well, listen, we have one car. My wife uses it to ride the kids around. I cannot risk this battery dying, so let me unplug it and pull it out. So I did that. That was my first kind of gut instinct. And then what happened was I went to the website for AA Wireless. They're actually a company called CPEB.et. I don't know how to pronounce what the exact company name is. It's CB and EB. That's what it's called. CP and EB. And in their support and all that sort of stuff, I dug and found, and someone actually said, will my car battery drain by leaving this plugged in if it's always on? And they said that it's designed to be low power. And so essentially it's safe to leave in your car for up to 2 weeks. Like if you leave it in your car, leave it plugged in and don't start your car for 2 weeks, the battery will still be fine. Like it's that long of a time period. And the odds of not starting my car and driving it in 2 weeks is very, very slim. So I feel a lot better about leaving it plugged in and just leaving it in the car. So that's good.
But if you drive to the airport to go away on a 2-week vacation and then you come back to your car and you expect to drive home,
be warned.
I've had that happen. I've totally had that happen. I think at the end of our Hawaii trip, we got back to the airport and the car battery was dead. It sucks so bad. Yeah, so don't do that. But I wouldn't imagine that device pulls a whole lot of power, but definitely something for people to understand and to know. Because that when that USB port is open, even when the car is off, you might not have any idea, and suddenly your battery's dead. Yep.
So the other concern that I had, or that I thought of, was, and I actually thought about this, and I did some searching. I saw some people talking about it on Reddit a couple of weeks ago, folks who got the device before me. And basically what's happening is that your phone thinks it's connected to Wi-Fi. And what you do run the risk of is if you're on a long road trip, and I haven't had a chance to test this because I haven't driven to Chicago or driven to DC yet, but you potentially could have more battery drain than you would expect when you're in the car and your car is plugged in via cable to Android Auto and charging while you're driving. Right. But in this case, the phone is not charging. It's in your pocket.
Right.
It's completely wireless. And so your phone is operating as if it was a phone connected to the internet. And of course, you're connected to the LTE network or things like that. But what I saw some people writing is that they see a lot of like Spotify polling for Wi-Fi. Like the apps do stuff in the background related to Wi-Fi that this potentially could lead to battery drain on your phone. So just one bit of advice, that if you're thinking about getting this, keep a cable in your car. That's what I do. I keep it in the glove compartment just as a backup. If you're going on a long drive, just plug the cable in, because you don't need the wireless at that point. You want to have your phone be charged and that sort of thing. But just be warned. Yeah, just be warned that just because you're plugged into Android Auto via wireless, it does not mean your battery is plugged in at all. So
right.
So that's the little word of warning. But the thing is darn simple. It's smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's low profile. It just snugs right into the car real nicely. And now I don't have to worry about plugging my phone in and use Android Auto seamlessly. So
nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So you can go to also the app. Just to touch on this, and those watching the video, Victor, I put in the link to the Google Play Store for the app itself. Once you have the app installed and everything hooked up, there's a ton of settings that let you control the device even closer, right? You can change. You're able to adjust the USB mode. You're able to adjust the pass through. You can force 2.4 gigahertz, which sometimes a lot of you kind of hardcore Wi-Fi folks and things like that prefer that band over the 5 gigahertz band or that sort of thing. You can set the Wi-Fi Connect timeout. So it's all these kind of tweaks and things like that you can adjust to get the app and the device working to your personal settings. Additionally, you use the app for over-the-air updates to update the firmware to the device. And then it gives you a status and everything. It's a nice little companion app. So the folks at CP and EB IT did a really cool job with this, and it really solves a problem. I don't know if it's a huge problem, but it solves an inconvenience with Android Auto when you don't have it natively on your head unit. I believe they're still taking orders on Indiegogo.
$75. Does that sound right?
Yes, $75. And if you order it now, you can get it in October. So, so totally worth the money just for the convenience alone. You go to Indiegogo.com and you can search for AAWireless and you can find it there. But they did a great job. So I'm happy with it. Satisfied customer. It's not often I do one of these Indiegogo Kickstarter type things, but I'm glad this one got delivered, works, and is a fun device. So.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people have been anticipating this. It's because newer versions of Android Auto head units and stuff, they do this wirelessly anyways. So if you're in one of those vehicles, it's connecting wirelessly to Android Auto, and if you want to charge, you're plugging it in with you're plugging into a cord to charge your phone as you would. So this is the same thing. It's just giving someone with an older head unit or a lesser functioning head unit compared to some of the newer things, that wireless capability. So people are happy, I think, if they're in that position and it's truly inconvenient for them. $75 is really not the end of the world to make a large kind of quality of life impact for when you get into your car and go. So yeah.
The moment you used Android Auto and complained about the cable, then this is the device for you. This solves that complaint. It just poof, it goes away. So it's definitely worth investing if you have like you said, you have an older car, you have something where you require that cable. It's not not wireless seamless in that way. It just takes a level of aggravation off your plate. So.
Yeah. 36,937 backers all want this. Maybe you do too.
Can't be wrong.
AAWireless. Thank you, Ron. Awesome.
Yeah.
No ads, just the content. That's what you get when you join Club TWiT. You even get extras like TWiT Plus, our new bonus feed just for members, and exclusive access to the Club TWiT Discord community. Join now for just $7 a month and support TWiT as we continue to create top-notch podcasts you expect and deserve. We're just getting started, so be one of the first to join as we build Club TWiT from the ground up. You could be an early member. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to learn more and sign up now. Thanks. Keep up with all the hottest tech news and gadgets. Visit twit.tv. There you'll be able to find and subscribe to all our tech shows. Thanks for watching Hands on Tech.